Lisa,
Yes, baby girl.
when I grow up, I want to be a woman to society.
Then so shall you be. Hey y'all, this is Lisa Landry. Welcome back to A Menace to Society. I'm so excited today. We're going to have a previous guest back on. I just adore her. She's a lawyer and she also was a social worker and a parole officer. Please welcome back Dianne Post. What are you doing out there in Phoenix with prostitution?
Variety of different things. What we are doing here is we're following the Nordic model without actually calling it that.
What are you calling
and
it?
And that means arresting the perpetrators.
You're doing that in Phoenix?
Yes.
How'd you get that to happen?
Well, there's been a lot of work here for years, actually, and there's a place called Dignity House, which is actually a Catholic Charities thing that was started by a woman who formerly was in prostitution, and they take the first arrest, but when the women are arrested, they don't arrest them. They put them in Dignity House. So they have a 30-day or 60-day, I think they can actually stay there 6 months, to not then go to jail or have a criminal record or anything else. And within the last couple of years, without really telling anybody, they just started following the Nordic model and arresting the customers instead, which has always been possible. Under our law, that always has been possible. They just didn't do it. So now they're just following the law.
So wait, let me understand this. So Arizona law, the police officers and whomever else was supposed to arrest the John, but they hadn't done it?
The law says that any person involved in the prostitution. So that isn't just the victim. That is also the purchaser, the pimp, the transportation person, the hotel where they're having her stay and do her duties. All of those people are involved, and they should be arrested as well. And they've always been able to be. However, they weren't. They focused on women in a discriminatory fashion and punished them even more by arresting them and giving them a criminal sentence.
So why are they calling it a Nordic model?
Well, because the whole idea started in Sweden. It started in 1999 in Sweden. And they changed their prostitution and trafficking laws so that that's what they did. They no longer criminalized or penalized the victim. They arrested the purchaser. And what happened was a dramatic drop in trafficking in Sweden and in prostitution in Sweden.
So do you think you're going to have a drop in prostitution and trafficking in Arizona because of this new way to go out there and make arrests?
Well, not unless it were uniform and studied and all of that. And it's not. It's sort of a haphazard change. But because of the success in Sweden, many other countries have now adopted this law. The most recent being Israel on December 31st, 2018. So now there are 8 countries that have this approach. Now there are some states in the U.S. and some counties in some states that are following this approach. One state is, I believe it's Vermont, the whole state is doing it, and they just chose to do it themselves. I believe Cook County is doing it, and Phoenix has been doing it. So it's very haphazard in the U.S. It's not a uniform thing at all.
Yeah, because think about that. That's very strange. You're talking about 3 very different parts of the country.
Absolutely.
Vermont, Illinois, and Arizona.
Absolutely.
So this is just random, let's see if it works implementation? Or do y'all have politicians out there making this happen, or lawyers or groups or what?
It's activists that make it happen. It's activists that make everything happen. You know that.
You're giving a shout out to your tribe now, ma'am.
Yeah, well, that's the truth, and we all know it. But this goes along with the federal law on trafficking. And one thing I've been fighting and started fighting with them here back in 2003 was that they were violating the federal law. Because the federal law on trafficking says if the victim of trafficking is a minor, they must be treated as a victim. They did not break a law.
Right.
They were trafficked.
They can't
so
consent.
you can't treat them as having, broken a criminal law by doing prostitution, or have broken an immigration law by having come to the United States without the proper documents because they're the victim, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, so that covers all minors. No minor should be arrested. But in Arizona, at that time, they were arresting minors. They were arresting children as young as 9.
Gosh.
9. Now, it is impossible for a 9-year-old to consent to sex. Under the law, a
Right.
9-year-old cannot consent. You have to be at least 16.
So tell me this. I don't want to get you off track, but you are a great legal mind, and I know you have advocated for people and won cases against the United Nations and other prestigious organizations because you've been advocating out there for lesser heard people, underserved people.
Yeah?
Why is it only now are people in positions of authority recognizing children can't consent, they're being trafficked and raped? Why are we waking up to this idea of their victims now?
I'm not sure we are waking up to that idea at all. It was first brought up in Freud brought it up.
Freud
and
was
then
a
he
dork.
dismissed it.
Yeah, Freud was
What?
a dork. I'm not a fan of Freud actually. I
Me
find
neither.
I find modern psychology is something that should probably be reinvestigated, and the foundation needs to be.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I agree.
he was a misogynistic piece of elitist trust fund poop.
Drug abuser.
Yeah, he was a mess, and
He
that's
was
the
a drug
foundation
abuser
for our
as well.
psychology.
Let's don't forget that.
Yeah, I didn't know that actually.
Yes, he was. He used, what was everybody was using then?
Opium.
Opium, yeah, opium. So,
So-
going back even to this bad guy, and I agree he's a bad guy, and I have a master's degree in psychology. He said children were being abused, women were being abused. And what did the medical establishment say?
Hysteria.
Hysteria.
Yeah.
We don't believe you. This isn't happening.
They're
this is all
making
in
it
their
up.
mind.
She's crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
So then in the 60s, a doctor in Colorado said it again. And he said, we need to be protecting children because they're being sexually abused and nobody is protecting them.
Well, Freud was a pedo too, so he wasn't
Yes,
going
he
to be.
was.
Yeah, he wasn't going to step
So
in.
what did they say when this doctor brought this up in the 1960s in Colorado?
Did they say he was crazy?
Yes,
I bet
same thing.
they always do that. They
Right.
take the yeah.
So, and we're still fighting. It's called patriarchy.
Oh yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Where do you think we're going to go with this Me Too movement?
Well, I'm not saying people don't understand it. They do understand it, and they are deliberately shutting their eyes because it upsets the existing apple cart. I do not believe that people don't understand it. They understand it. They know a 9-year-old can't agree to be a prostitute. They know that. But as long as that 9-year-old is not their 9-year-old, they're not going to intervene because it would upset their apple cart to have to admit these things are really, in fact, going on.
You know, someone told me the average child molester will offend something like 280 children.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
is that right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so if you
Because they're not stopped.
yeah, that's what I was going to
Whether
ask you.
they're priests or teachers or coaches or Boy Scout leaders, they're not stopped because to admit it and to stop it would be to say this is what men are doing and it's not right.
I have a question for you in addition to that one, ma'am. Do you think that we have so many rapists and child predators and just all around narcissistic, psychopathic, strange, harmful people out there? They're probably people who were harmed as children themselves, right? Childhood trauma, never got help for it.
Well, many of them claim that, yes, and they probably were, a good percentage of them, yes.
Do you think all these men who are out there who molest little boys, for instance, they're just building new generations of predators and hurt young men who grow up to
Yes.
just keep committing more violence, right? Against each
Yes.
other and women. So shouldn't we all, if we know somebody's being harmed and they're a child especially, just not allow it?
Well, of course.
Because it is,
Of course, but I mean, we've seen the degradation of the morals of this country in the last 2 years. We thought we were a humanitarian place. We're clearly not. We're
Yeah.
clearly not.
Things have gotten really,
Ugly.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So let me go back to the question about Me Too, which is the exact same dynamic is happening. Somebody brings up the fact that this abuse is happening. It gets attention for a while, and then what happens?
Goes
It's
away.
attacked.
Yeah.
It's gone too far. This isn't really happening. It's their imagination. They're not that hurt. That's not a big of a deal. This is just the way it is in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's now exactly what's happening on the Me Too. That people, including other women, are saying, well, this has gone too far. This is now too much. Men don't even want to work with women or mentor them because they might get accused. Well, don't misbehave and you won't be.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
It's pretty easy.
Don't take your dick out unless somebody requests to see it.
Right. And don't send pictures of it around. One other thing I want to say about how many rapists and all of that there are. Yes, there are many. However, what you just pointed out, one person generally does hundreds of assaults on children and also on women. So it's not that every single man is a rapist or child abuser.
Oh, gosh, no.
But every single man has a responsibility to stand up to those who are.
Tell me what you're doing with the E.R.A. in Arizona.
Oh, my God. Well, we need one more state
Yeah?
to make it a constitutional amendment. So 3 states are up: Virginia, North Carolina, and Arizona. And Virginia and Arizona's legislatures start in January.
Mm-hmm.
This month, in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Ours starts in a little over a week. So does theirs. And then North Carolina starts, and then they have 1 day, and then they don't come back again until early March. So at any rate, those are the 3 that are targeted to get at least one more state. So we've been working very, very hard. We've formed a big coalition, people all over the state. We got point people in all of the legislative districts. We got people lobbying all of the Republicans because they're the ones that are against it. We've got new information and education pieces coming out because so many people don't even know what the E.R.A. is.
Yeah, people have forgotten. It's been so long since...
Everyone who's 50 years and older knows what it is.
I'm not the same. I'm not fortunate enough to be in that range yet, but I'm lucky to be alive.
So many people who are young, especially under 30, don't even have a clue what it is.
No, they probably think it's a new network.
Yeah, whatever it is. So we're having to do a lot of education, and 80% of Americans think it passed. They think it's already passed, and it never did. So that is a huge educational problem. Well, why are you bringing that up? Well, because it never did pass. It didn't? Oh, I thought it passed back in the 70s. No, it didn't.
No.
So that's a huge issue of education, and 91% of Republicans and 98% of Democrats support it. So why isn't it done?
Because then you're going to have to pay women equal pay.
Oh my gosh, what an idea!
But you know that pisses off the patriarchy. Because once women have that same amount of pay for the same work, we don't have to stay in those homes where we're getting slapped and beaten. We can leave.
In those abusive relationships, exactly.
Exactly. You'll still have that abuser coming at you because a lot of women can't just get away. You are tied to somebody who will not let you go. If you have all that money, the same amount that he's making, and you have access to the same education like he does, and you have access to the same kind of health benefits, and also, I remember they didn't want the E.R.A. to pass back in the day because they were saying that women would have to sign up for selective service, right? Wasn't that one of the reasons they told women not to vote for it?
It still is.
Okay, but here's the thing. Like, that's what I'm trying to get to, and I'm sorry. It seems like now perhaps women would be more inclined to not be bothered by the idea of signing up for selective service because.
All right, well, let me tell you 2 things.
What?
Number 1, women are already subject to selective service.
I didn't know that.
Women can already be drafted. Today we don't have a draft.
Right.
But if we reinstated it, women would be included because they almost drafted women nurses at the end of World War II. They had written up the legislation to have it done.
Huh.
They almost drafted women at the end of the Vietnam War. They had written it up. They were ready to. They didn't even need legislation. They were just going to make it a rule, and boom, it would have been done. But then the war ended. So women already are subject to the draft. And this is one of the reasons we need the E.R.A. We are subject to all of the responsibilities of citizens, but we don't have all of the rights of citizens.
No, we don't.
And that's the difference.
Yeah.
So we're already subject to the draft. And here's the second thing. Women are now in every military,
Mm-hmm.
in every division of every military. Women have already fought in combat and are in combat positions, sometimes leading combat positions in every military.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the militaries who were opposed to this are now saying, well, I think we made a mistake here. These women are good, you know?
They are good.
So
Our military women are
when
good.
you say women shouldn't or couldn't or won't serve, you are disrespecting every single woman who has ever been in uniform or not in uniform, but still in the service.
Mm-hmm.
Because women have served in the military since the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
Sometimes in drag, sometimes most of the time, up until recently, without any benefits.
Mm-hmm.
They were spies, they were nurses, they were admins. In World War I, they ran the telephone systems in Europe right at the war zones. They drafted women telephone operators because the men could not run those switchboards. Remember, you've seen the pictures of the switchboards where the little hole, they went in and out of the holes. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yep, my mom did that, actually.
Aw.
And they drafted women towards the end of the World War I. Well, not the end, at the beginning. When the United States went over to Europe in World War I, they found men could not do that. It was so slow they didn't have any communication.
No.
And they said, bring over these women operators, and boom, they were there. So and it took them 60 years to get recognition for that service.
That's so jacked up, Diane. Okay, so wait.
Isn't that disgusting?
That is disgusting. So I knew about the women in our military dressing in drag and serving as nurses and whatnot and showing up, sneaking in to fight next to the men. But I did not know that women currently could be drafted. So all
Absolutely,
this,
they can.
You know so much truth that people just don't have access to unless we get to hear from you.
Right.
So these women, like me, like I grew up at a time where they were pushing for the E.R.A. when I was very, very young, and it didn't pass. And then I remember being a child and hearing all about, like, well, that's good because then the girls would have to serve. These young women would grow up and they could get drafted. But that was all garbage anyway.
Yes, it was.
Because you're telling me that long before that, women were already possibly about to be sent off to war zones.
Yes, they were. Well, their other argument was, of course, same-sex marriage. Well, that argument is gone. Their other argument is, I might have to use a bathroom that a man has used, or a man might, a transgender person might come into my bathroom.
Yeah, done with that one.
Well, if you've ever been on an airplane, you have used a bathroom that a man that you don't know has used. Right?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
most businesses and public buildings today have at least 3 bathrooms. A man, a woman, and a, quote, family, or an all people, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want to go in the women's bathroom because you're afraid some transgender person might come in there, then go into the other one and lock the door and shut up.
Yeah, I don't get what all that beef is.
But, I'm not afraid of being in a women's bathroom and being attacked by a transgender person. I have never been. I have been attacked by a man in a women's bathroom.
I'm sorry.
There's nothing that'll stop them from coming in there. If they're going to come in there and attack some woman, they're going to do it.
Well, that's the thing. People don't realize a bathroom, especially in public, can be a very dangerous place when it's long, when
Yes.
it's bigger than one access. Especially if you're in a large city, you can be mugged, assaulted. All kinds of things can happen because you are vulnerable. You're walking in there thinking that you're protected because it's a bathroom, and then you go and you find your little stall area if you're a woman, and there could be somebody hiding there.
Yes. And many men don't actually like the urinals because of what goes on with the hanging out the penis sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Comments and jokes and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So many of them don't actually like that and would prefer to have a lockable stall.
Right.
So just make them all lockable and shut up about it.
That's how I feel
and then,
too.
of course, and then there's the crowning argument. If you pass the E.R.A., you'll destroy the family.
We already don't have good family structures in this country currently.
Well, we don't. But
We don't. It's
here's
sad. It saddens me, actually. There has been a breakdown of the family unit, but I mean, did it ever exist anyway? I mean, honestly, if we look at the shit, it's been broken.
Here's a fact for you to think about. In the countries where the gender equality index is more equal, where men and women are more equal, there are fewer divorces and less child abuse and domestic violence.
That makes sense to me. It's peaceful
And, yes,
parenting.
and there are fewer abortions as well.
Yeah.
Even in the states, there are 20 states in the United States that have a state E.R.A. in their constitution. In those 20 states, they have a lower abortion rate than the states that don't have it.
Which states are those? Do you remember? I mean, that's too many to list, right? Where should we go to find that? Can we go to your website?
If you go on Ratify E.R.A., on the left will be a drop-down menu, and it'll list state constitutions, and you can just click on there, and it'll give you the states that have state constitutions.
So we go to Ratify USA.
E.R.A., that is a website, Ratify E.R.A.
Ratify E.R.A.
And then on the left will be a list of, drop-down menus, and it'll give you state constitutions.
So what do you think? Are we going to pass this one, Ms. Post?
It's going to pass. It's going to pass. It's been 98 years. It's going to pass. Whether it passes this year, whether it's Arizona, whatever it is, it will. Do you think women are going to give up on their freedom?
I don't know, sister. I feel like we like you say, we make progress, and it's like, oh, we can't go too far with this. The men are getting upset. They're getting scared. We might not have work after this. What will happen to us if this dynamic crumbles?
That always happens, and yes, that always happens, and there are some of them.
Yeah.
But then there's always the ones that come back again. It's a cyclical thing, and we are never going to stop.
Well, it seems like people are more woke, and I mean that both men and women are more woke, especially women.
I hope so.
But many men, it feels like many men actually are, in my opinion, at least making strides to seem more equal-minded and more.
Well, and if they thought for a minute, they would recognize that the Equal Rights Amendment benefits them as well.
How so?
Because it says, thou shalt not discriminate on the basis of sex. The same as the movie that's out about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. That is a fabulous movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. And on the basis of sex includes men as well. Mm-hmm. The Supreme Court has already ruled that in the Oncology case. So when they face discrimination, and they do.
Yeah, they do.
Then they can use that as well. So right now, sometimes they don't get the same, say your husband dies and the wife gets X benefit. But when the wife dies, the husband doesn't get X benefit.
Yeah, that's not fair. That's really...
Even if she were the main income earner.
Right.
Or even if not, if she was staying home taking care of the children, that's very expensive to hire someone to stay home and take care of the children if your wife dies, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very much so.
You got to hire somebody to do that job, and that costs a lot. But he doesn't get those benefits because women are valued much less than men. And they would be able to sue under that now with the E.R.A.
So I think if more men knew that, they might be more inclined to promote it, right? When you think?
Well, it's interesting if you read my paper on the 14th Amendment, which is also on RSN, in the cases where men brought discrimination lawsuits, on sex, they won 83% of the time.
Well, dudes win in court.
In the cases where women brought them, they only won 63% of the time.
Of course.
But that didn't surprise any woman because they always win more than we do.
Yeah.
There have been several cases brought by men on those issues of Social Security benefits, military benefits, death benefits, those kinds of things where the men got less than the women. And in the case that on the basis of sex is based on, or what not, it's not based on, but it's a main staple of that case, is where if a man stayed home and took care of his ailing mother, he could not take a tax deduction. But if a woman stayed home and took care of her ailing mother, she could.
That's bogus.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's awful.
So he sued.
I hope he won.
Well, go see the movie.
All right,
because you will learn many, many things. Not just about that, but many other things that Ruth Bader Ginsburg did well.
And if we want to learn more about you, right now we can check you out at DiannePost.net.
Yes.
And we also can go to ratifyera.com to check out your work over there that you're doing. Now, you've been an activist for, I don't know, since what? You were 8 years old, 9 years old?
Yeah, I think
Something
about
like
that. And I had a birthday yesterday,
Did you?
and I'm 72.
Well, happy birthday, Capricorn.
I spent the whole day working on the E.R.A., but I think that's what I'm probably going to do until the day I die.
Oh, well, let's
But
hope.
except we'll pass it before that,
Yeah,
so then I can stop.
Yeah, that's going to say that. Let's get it done this year, and then you can just chill and move on to your
Yeah,
next.
then I can work on something else,
Move on.
because, all the problems will not be gone.
You have more problems to solve there. Okay,
Yeah, we do.
So tell everybody listening, like, okay, because you're one of these activists who is really just out there making it happen, grinding, getting it done. What, if somebody is listening right now, can we do to change our community for the better that doesn't involve too much work?
Find what local groups are doing, whether it's Indivisible or National Organization for Women or even your church or your PTA or whatever it is, your neighborhood association. Pick something that you're excited about, whether it is, children or women or politics or clean streets or pollution or whatever it is. Find what you can do. You can do as little as making a phone call to your elected representative, sending a text or an email. You can show up. Many people don't show up at marches. They could. Or if that's not their thing, they can always call or write. You can write letters to the editor about something that is a problem. If a newspaper gets 10 letters on the same topic, like, why is this dump polluting in the black neighborhood? They'll publish one. But if they only get one, they won't publish it. They need to know that a community, more than one person cares, that this is a community issue. So pick something you're passionate about and find a group that's working on that and go and do that. From the smallest little thing you could do to the biggest thing you could do. And you'll decide based on your skills. Maybe you have financial skills. You could be the treasurer of the group. Maybe you have computer skills. You could run the website. So whatever you have is valuable, and you can add that into the mix and help us all.
All right, everybody, you got a bunch of letters to write. Shout out, E.R.A. I love you. Type slowly. Please join me at lisalandry.com. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, support my work, and I'll see you next Wednesday.